Only 25% of young people aged 5 to 16 were doing at least 2 hours of high-quality PE or school sport a week. More generally, there was concern over a loss of playing fields, a decline in competitive sport in schools, and falling standards in PE in many schools. In terms of obesity, the programme was implemented at a time when concerns over childhood obesity were growing, as we've already heard this morning. The Health Survey for England in 2006 measured obesity levels in boys and girls aged 2 to 15 from 1995 to 2006 and found that obesity levels in boys had increased from 11% to 17% and for girls from 12% to 15%. A number of strategies were introduced by the UK government in response to the decline of PE in school sport and a lack of participation in sport and physical activity more broadly across society. All of these stressed the value and the importance of PE in school sport for all young people. For instance, a policy called A Sporting Future for All in 2000 stated that PE and school sport were a fundamental part of young people's education. The PE, School Sport and Club Links policy, published in 2003, said that all children, regardless of their circumstances and their ability, should be able to participate in and enjoy PE and sport. More recently, Healthy Weight, Healthy Lives, published in 2008, stated that all schools have a responsibility to provide a healthy environment in which children and young people can learn, develop and live healthy lives. Since the programme began, there's been an ongoing debate about its purpose, whether it is to improve the quality of PE in school sport and increase participation in sport, or whether it is to encourage all young people to be physically active, and indeed whether it can do both. School sport partnerships are families of schools that work together to develop PE and sport. As the diagram shows, well, that's the structure of the partnership. At the centre is a partnership development manager who has overall responsibility for the partnership. Around the edge are school sport coordinators who work in secondary schools and primary link teachers who work in primary schools. And they're responsible for improving school sport opportunities within their own schools. The aims of the programme are broadly to increase participation in high quality sport and PE, in high quality competition, to increase the number of leaders, and hopefully therefore to have an impact across the school in terms of improving pupils' attitudes, behaviour and attendance. Our evaluation has been based on 3 annual national surveys attributed to those 3 groups I've just outlined, and we've collected data concerning young people's participation, whole school impact, their involvement in volunteering and leadership, for instance. The surveys have been supported by a number of case studies in individual school sport partnerships. So, to the findings. As you can see from this, participation in extracurricular sporting activities has increased for girls, boys and pupils with disability. For example, before the programme was implemented, in a typical week, 91 girls in a secondary school were taking part in extracurricular activities. By 2008, this figure had nearly doubled to 181. There's also been a positive impact in primary schools, with 65% of primary schools who were surveyed reporting that more than half of their pupils aged 5 to 11 had participated in PE and school sport activities organised through the programme, compared to a figure of 35% in 2004. Less obvious, and perhaps less positive, is the impact on black and minority ethnic pupils. The programme has also had a positive impact on the range of sport and physical activities available within schools. Traditional UK sports still dominate, so football, cricket, athletics and netball are still offered to young people in over 90% of all schools. A number of less traditional sports have become available in a greater number of schools. For instance, cycling. In 2004 this was only available in 13% of schools. In 2008 it was available in 27% of schools. And perhaps given the success of the British cycling team at the recent Beijing Olympics, this will continue to increase. There's less evidence of a growth in non-sport physical activities, however. In terms of participation in competitive sport, Again, as you can see, there's been a positive impact for girls, boys and pupils with a disability. These are annual numbers participating per school. So, for example, before the programme started, 125 boys on average per school were taking part in competitive sport. This had risen to 214 in 2008. As with participation in extracurricular activities, there's been a less obvious impact on black and minority ethnic pupils. And as might be expected, there's been little impact on pupils aged 5 to 11 as those in primary schools, although competitive opportunities have increased through festivals with an emphasis on participation rather than winning. In terms of the impact on the number of young people involved in leadership and volunteering within sport, numbers have steadily increased since 2004. The individuals we spoke to within partnerships emphasised the positive outcomes of leadership programmes, and many schools, having seen the success of programmes within sport, have developed programmes in other curriculum areas such as art and science. Those spoken to particularly emphasised the impact on engaging disengaged young people and changing aspirations and improving career prospects. More than one school sport partnership now employ young people once they've completed sports leadership awards, which obviously brings benefits to young people involved and helps to build capacity within partnerships. In terms of the whole school impact of the programme, government strategy has been keen to emphasise the potential benefits of increased participation in PE and school sport for behaviour in school, for educational achievement and school attendance. And as you can see, head teachers in secondary schools are fairly positive about the impact the programmes have. There's a general view that immersion partnerships, that the programme provides a useful framework in which behaviour improvement, attendance and attainment strategies can operate. It's not clear how these changes are accounted for. Some suggested that an increase in PE in school sport had led to a changed school ethos, others simply that pupils had more reason to attend school. So, to summarise what's been quite a lot of information, the programme has had a positive impact on young people generally. There are more young people taking part in a wider range of activities than before. More young people engaged in competitive sport and more young people involved in sports leadership and volunteering. For many, the success of the programme has reinforced the belief in PE and school sport as a means of addressing poor behaviour, tackling poor attendance and improving attainment across the curriculum. So, PE and school sport are seen locally and increasingly nationally at a policy level as a vehicle for delivering change across the school. Finally, the success of the programme highlights the value and importance of government commitment to and investment in PE and school sport. Some of the challenges facing the School Sport Partnership Programme: participation rates amongst black and minority ethnic pupils, disabled pupils in early years in primary schools, that's ages 5 to 7, remain low. The best performing schools in terms of participation in PE and school sport are in the most affluent areas with the lowest black and minority ethnic populations. Partnerships also face competing pressures to, on the one hand, provide high quality school sport and PE, and on the other, to encourage all people, regardless of their ability, to participate in health-giving physical activity. And to date, it's reasonable to suggest that the strength of the partnership programme and the strength of partnerships have been in their strategic ability to focus on increasing participation in sport, and there are some concerns that in tackling or addressing levels of physical inactivity, that there'll be a dilution of their purpose. So I end with the question really regarding the future role of school sport partnerships and of the programme. Is it to encourage all young people to participate in sport for all, or is it to encourage physical activity amongst all young people? Thank you.